a short story about Antonio Vivaldi. This is a very fun page, similar to what you've done before. If you look back at page 11, you remember we talked about a short story about Mr. Haydn. Now we're going to talk about a short story about Antonio Vivaldi. So it's a little biography, some information about his life that you can read after you accomplish these tasks. So two things, right? First thing, you need to write a whole note to complete the interval. Second, you need to name both notes in the blanks. And then the big two here, we have fun reading about Vivaldi. Okay, so let's do the first task. First of all, they ask us to write the interval that is required right here. Okay, whatever they tell us, we will have to do. I'm going to use my separate paper here. Okay, so here they ask us to do up a fifth. So what would be a fifth up from this note? So you can go with the name of the note. So the name of the note would be, well, I can write it here, right? So I can say A right here. Okay, so what would be the fifth from A? You can use your fingers and you go ahead and go recite your alphabet. So A is the first, right? So A, B, C, D, E. So the fifth note would be the E. So we can write it here, right? You need to know your notes. And then you can go ahead and write E right here. So you can start with actually filling out the blanks first. So it's not what they ask us here. They ask us to write the note first and then mark the names of the notes. But you can go other way around and do it this way. If you want to do the way they ask us, let's do maybe this one, okay? So maybe you can do the second way of calculating your intervals. So here they are asking us to do down a second. So I'll just take and look at the where my note is. It sits on that last top line. So one step down would be here. So you can see that it's just two notes, taking up two notes. So that's a second, right? Second. Now, then you still need to write the names of the notes. So this one, remember, it's a bass clef. So that's going to be a B, and that's going to be an A here. Okay, so let's just continue for a while. So the next task would be down a second. Again, we just did it down a second. So we can go ahead and just calculate two notes, right? Here, 1, 2. One step down, so A and then G, right? A, G. Okay. So, well, how about we'll do one more? Okay. Okay, let's do one more. Let's look at this one. So here we need to do down a third. So I'm going to use my first way of doing it. I'm going to go ahead and write the name of the note here. That's a G note here. A third would be G, F, E, right? 1, 2, 3. So that gives me an E note. Okay, and I guess you can continue from this. Well, should we do maybe one more, the big one here? Yeah, let's do the fifth one more time. Okay, so down a fifth. So that's a bass clef. That's a B. So 5 down will be 1, 2, 3. You can actually go ahead and write down. Just make sure you raise it afterwards. So 1, make sure you include that B. 2, 3, 4, 5. So my last one would be here. So I can go ahead and hide it so nobody sees how I do that. And then I'm going to mark it with an E because that's an E note. Okay, well, you can continue. It's a very fun task. I think you will enjoy it. So let's read what we so far were able to write. Antonio's father was a barber, baker, and a violinist. He taught his young son to play violin. Vivaldi grew up to become a priest and was, well, I guess you have to continue with this in order to read his whole story. I guess it's a short story. All right, well, have fun doing this page. Happy practicing.